What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of the Moto Outsider, and we have some breaking news to cover as of yesterday in the Red Bull KTM world. But as always, joined by my man, Mr. Chris Baird, who needs a cup of coffee today. How are you, bro?
I'm so tired, Matt, but we have breaking news to discuss. So let's get into this.
We do. This Moto game doesn't sleep, so that means the Moto Outsider cannot rest. And it's a shakeup that a lot of people saw coming, but not this soon. And that is Cooper Webb and Red Bull have officially parted ways. Red Bull KTM have officially parted ways. I personally think Cooper Webb fired him, but I know you've got a lot of details on this. You've read the press release, so have I. So, dude, what are your thoughts on all things Cooper Webb leaving KTM?
Yeah, I guess the biggest news about this is just that it happened so soon. I think we all kind of had the feeling that Cooper had the neck injury in Nashville. I kind of thought he was just gonna like ride the outdoors out, maybe ride a couple or not show up at all. But I don't know. He got the bug up his ass to go race the as soon as he could. Essentially, that didn't
Yep.
go well. Has not been going well. He sounded like he came in expecting to do better than he's been doing, and it's not working. I don't think he's happy with the bike. I don't think him and
Mhm.
the team have been getting along. I just think there's been a lot of controversy there. I know that Tom VL hasn't been super happy with his bike, and Plessinger's also been changing a lot of things on his bike all the way through the year. So I don't know if that's the reason. I can't imagine it's a very good scenario over there with Ian
Right.
and Roger when you're not winning and you're not making them lots of money. So yeah, there's
Yep.
a lot that goes into this, but yeah, he's gonna call it quits early and he's going to join a new team. Kind of
Yeah.
exciting.
So let's segue into the speculative side of this business. And of course, nobody's got a crystal ball, but where's the most likely candidate team where he would land? I know Star Yamaha is on the ballot, but where do you think he would ultimately end up?
Yeah, well, according to Michael Lindsay, Lewis Phillips, Steve Mathis, they all are confirming, but they pretty much said it's locked in and he's going to Star Yamaha. I haven't
Yep.
heard anything else. So at this point, I mean, you see all the other YouTube videos, news articles, everyone's making these early videos. Cooper Webb at Star Yamaha, but everything that I've found, it looks like he actually is going there. And the Super Motocross World Championship starts in September. I believe September 9th is the first round. And I would expect to see him on the new bike at that round. He's going to have a whole month and a half to prepare. And he
Yep.
wants to win that. There's a lot of money on the line. This is a whole new championship playoff series for us. So I'm thinking Star Yamaha, September 9th, Cooper Webb, number 2 on a blue bike again. He's back.
Got it. Well, best believe we're going to cover it and we're going to find out. I agree with you wholeheartedly. So we're not going to, dig too deep into that. And if the entire industry and all the big players in the media game are saying it's going to be Star Yamaha, chances are there's some insider info shooting down there saying that is the case. So we'll we'll let that rest. But let's go over his results with KTM. I mean, between 2019 and 2023, he's got a total of 21 main event wins in 450 Supercross and a single Supercross championship, as well as a single pro motocross outdoor win. But that was in 2019. So do you think his career results with the KTM might have him a little discouraged? I'm just trying. Those results don't sound too impressive, even though this game is not easy. But if you look at some of the wins the other guys are pulling, it's like, man, kind of expect a little bit more from Cooper. What do you think?
Yeah, Cooper's KTM career has been very interesting. He was very successful when he was back with Star Yamaha in the past. Goes to
Mhm.
KTM. First year, he wins a 450 Supercross title, which is great. But his
Right,
outdoor results have suffered the whole time. Like you said, he had one win. I believe it was Spring Creek 2019. He got that win,
right,
which it's great, but nobody really remembers that. It's not like it was super memorable. It's one win, one outdoor win. He's a two-time Supercross champion, so not a great look for him. And then you think about all this other stuff that happened with him, leaving Alden Baker, going to Michael Byrne, that didn't work out. Back to Alden Baker, controversy
right.
there, and I think it really was important for Cooper to try to go win an outdoor title. I don't think he wants his legacy to be a Supercross only thing, especially when he was so good on 250s. So yeah, it's just a very weird scenario. I think it's a successful career. Obviously, I mean he's made millions of dollars and
Yeah,
he's
for
done
sure.
more on dirt bike than most people will ever dream of doing. He'll
Right.
it's very impressive, but I think he's signed up for another year or two with Star Yamaha because he probably wants to get the outdoor title more than anything. Maybe make some more money. I mean,
Right.
what's your opinion on winning two Supercross titles and nothing for outdoors? Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all. I mean, the Supercross titles are great, obviously, because I think there's probably more money in Supercross than there is outdoors in terms of like prize money, sponsorships, etc. And we also don't know what incentives they get on the back end too. But what I think is, and this is my thought with why he might have made the jump sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's getting any younger. And you know what I mean? Their bodies are going through it. Cooper's been injured. I think he wanted to make the move quick just because when you start to waste time and you're going through everything, he might, I don't want to say he'll miss out on a ride, but he's like, you know what? Just pull the trigger. I'm out of KTM anyways. My heart isn't in this. I'm just going to go right to Yamaha. Let's get right to work. So I feel like doesn't want to waste any time and just jump right into a new camp and get it going. The Yamaha bikes are fast all the way around. What Tomac has done on that bike is undeniable. Tomac is very skilled without a doubt, but it's undeniable how impressive that bike is for both 250s and 450s. So I think the writing's on the wall. If you want a competitive bike and you want to go get yourself some wins and, you know, kind of build your legacy around that, dude, you got to jump. And the KTM's just not it. So I think he was just sick of wasting time too. You know, manufacturer's not working with him, team's not working with him with getting him the parts he wanted. Was it a similar situation like what Tomac and his father were dealing with when he wanted to leave Monster Energy Cowie, right? Same thing, just wanted to leave.
No, you're definitely right. And
yeah.
the way I kind of put it too is like, I mean, we both worked some pretty awful jobs. And when you're checked out at that job, but you have to keep showing up every day for months and months and months, knowing that you hate it there and you want to leave.
Oh, yeah.
You could have left, 6 months sooner when we were delivering furniture in the trenches, sweating our nuts off all summer. Like, it's just the way it was, So he's getting out early. It's probably good for his mental state. Just had a kid and all that stuff. But that's one thing I want to cover as well. Star Yamaha's known to let the guys run whatever they want, whether it's different brand than what they're sponsored by, essentially. At least Tomac runs like Renthal grips and they run Pro Taper bars. Like it doesn't look good for them, but they also don't care. They'll do anything to win. So
and that's what it is, because at the end of the day, bro, you just got to go win races. And I know that you have sponsorship obligations and the contracts that come with them. I've bet on that side, not professionally, but I've seen what they look like. And yeah, dude, it's not as easy to run other parts if you're contractually obligated to specific brands. But what I will say is, what does that say about freedom? You gave Tomac the freedom to run whatever parts he wants, make whatever changes he wants. That's fine. But what does that do to him mentally, to where he's like, okay, I trust the team trusts me, watch me go out and get this? Because they can be, when they trust each other and they have that freedom, they can be open and candid. It's like, okay, let's tweak this. Let's change that. Can we sneak this part in and get this done? Okay, great. Now that moves the wheel much faster. So I think that probably plays a huge part in it, man. And maybe Cooper wants that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, look at 2021. I mean, Tomac doesn't win any of the titles. 2022 comes out in a new team and wins both titles very, very dominantly as well. So
same rider, different bike.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. They're opening up a little bit. I was listening to the Fly Racing Moto 60 show today, and they talked about it a bit. Factory Honda, they're saying, is a lot more open. Dan Truman works over with the Lawrence brothers, and I guess Honda's being a little more lenient now, letting them try new things. Mitch Payton has been very strict in the past, and a lot of their riders complain about the bikes being very stiff. And all the guys changed their handlebars this year for the first time in like 20 years to a different style. They run a fat bar instead of the crossbar. Right. So it's just little changes like that where I think other teams are starting to realize that you got to let the riders try things. Again, it's that trust, it's the comfort. It's, hey, these guys want to win and I want to win, so let's work together. It's not work against each other. There's no reason for that. Little changes, big results, right? It's just that one little tweak on the bike, man, can change everything, dude. You know this. It could be something as simple as changing a clicker on your suspension, then bam, you're right. Your whole feel of the bike changes. You're going fast or whatever the case is. So, and these guys obviously feel that at a very high level, regardless of the part. My dad used to think I was crazy, but we'd be riding these like really thick, muddy, loamy tracks, and I would have like mud clump up on my back wheel, and I could feel it in the air spinning, and it makes the suspension compress, so it feels like the bike's shaking. And I'd come back in and complain about my bike all the time, and I'd have to scrape the mud off, and it was just stuff like that. But even I would notice things like that. So, I mean, these guys are so light on their bike, so light on their feet. I can only imagine what they feel, changing suspension, engine hangers, all that stuff. It's got to be crazy. Exactly. I mean, and that's just going back to the James Stewart comment that he made a while back. I think when he was with Suzuki or something, or maybe it was Sam Manuel, or he was like, I can literally feel the difference in subframe. Yep. Like that is just next level bike relation, comfort to be able to feel a part. Like, I don't know, like that's why you're much more skilled than I am. I never felt anything like that. I just went out there and sent it. But again, that's why you were better than I was. But dude, like when you're riding at that level and you have that skill set, when things are off, and something says injuries, lifestyle changes, and everything. To put a big bow on this conversation, that is why Cooper Webb left KTM so quick.
maybe he's off to Yamaha, or maybe he'll throw a curveball and surprise us somewhere. But he's making a move that's best for him without a doubt, and we'll shall see. It's going to be an interesting rest of the year.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. It's on top of that, there's a lot of rumors came out this week prior to Cooper's announcement that Tomac re-signed for Supercross only next year. That sounds like that might be confirmed, and he also sounds like he might have an option for another year. Totally speculation. I don't know a single thing. I don't know anybody over there, but that's what I've been reading and hearing about online. So I'll present that to you. I mean, how do you think that goes with Cooper Webb being so competitive? Do you think that the teammates? Do you think there's controversy at that truck next year? They're both pretty stubborn guys. Like I personally cannot see Cooper Webb being comfortable with like racing Tomac every night and getting beat by him if that's how it works out. And being on the same team, there's no way.
Yep. I mean, but at the end of the day, if let's say they're teammates, right?
Yeah.
You got to go out and get it on the racetrack. And then once you're off the track and you're in the pits and you're training together, that is what it is. Yeah. Ultimately, the alpha will separate itself. And whether it's Tomac, which it most likely will be, I think Tomac is the all-around better rider, even though Cooper is a dog when he wants to put up a fight, without a doubt. I just think that it's not going to be said, but it's going to be understood. Tomac is that guy. Now, Cooper, if you can go out and put up the fight, that's all you. But I think it's just going to be known Tomac's the guy.
No, I agree with you. And Tomac is definitely the faster guy. I guess another thing I could bring up too, which I was thinking about yesterday, I was when we were kind of texting about this. I mean, Cooper left Aldens at one point because he's unhappy. He doesn't necessarily probably want to do all the work. I think he knows he could do less work and be the same amount of successful. Mm-hmm. How do you think that Cooper's speed and as he gets older, like, do you think riding with Deegan and J Coop and Thrasher and all those guys next year, do you think that helps him having a new fresh group of guys and kind of a new training program? Like, how do you think that affects his mental and physical state?
Yeah, I think that definitely plays into it because you are around these younger guys. And do you want to be shown up at the press track because you were lazy, didn't put the work in, or maybe it is your age and you realize you now have to double down on the basics and then rely on your veteran riding acumen to carry you through. Yeah. Okay, you're mature on the track and you've been around the block. You know the lines and you know your bike, you know what you got to do. But these young guys that are fitter than you, they're going to be faster because you're just tired 3/4 through the moto, right? Yeah. So I think when he shows up, no one likes to be the new guy in town that is small and kind of the outcast, or I'm just using that as a metaphor, but you get the point. Yeah. He's definitely gonna have to put that work and it's gonna affect him. But I think that mental refresh may be what he is seeking to get back to where he was, to where he's got to start, like I said, building that legacy. And it's like, hey, we got to get back to day one. Every day is day one, so we got to put the work in. I think that's what's going to come down to.
And yeah, again, like I said it before, like look at what it did to Eli Tomac. I personally think that so many guys look at that, like look at Joe Shimoda, Levi Kitchen, even Max Boland. Not that they all had options, but these guys are all switching teams next year. They got to look at Tomac's 2022 season and be like, maybe like change really is good. Maybe I do need change. Right.
Remember how bad, like, or at least this is how it felt. Everybody always competed for the pro circuit rides.
Yeah.
What if the tide is switched now? It's everybody wants to be Star Yamaha.
So it surely feels like, truthfully.
What if Star Yamaha has built such a culture where it's like, hey, ride our bike, tell us what you want, we'll make you comfortable, go win. That culture, that environment, know this, we know this just from being in certain work environments, just at a blue collar level. The work environment and culture that you're in, it changes your perspective and how you work and perform. Same applies to racing, dude. If you're trapped and you can only do certain things within the bounds of what Suzuki or KTM wants you to do, that sucks. Come over to Pro Circuit or Yamaha and do what you want.
Well, I mean, look at Daxton Bennick. I mean, he's a great example of that. He had a full offer from KTM as an amateur to move up to their factory program, and he left that for pretty much a handshake deal, a 6-month trial with Star Yamaha, because that's a bike he wanted to be on.
Right.
Look at him now.
And if it's the faster bike, send it on the Yamaha. You'll get way more heads turning for you.
I even think it's just like the bike is proven. I think it's riding with those guys all week. Like, I truthfully think if any one of those guys wants to ride with Hayden Deegan, Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb now, you're going to get better during the week. You cannot not get better riding with those guys all week. Where with KTM, you're not really riding. You're riding with those guys, but it's just like you're not in a structured program. Like, you're probably doing different things. Where I don't think Alden's program is what it used to be, in my opinion. I really don't. I think a lot of the guys are burnt out quicker than they need to be. And I think we could do a whole video on this, but
Mhm.
I mean, Alden's won a lot of titles. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think
Yeah.
that that's the program that they need, or I think that they need to change something because Alden was never a motocross guy. Obviously, he worked with James, Ricky, all the good guys of Opoto. I just think that the times have changed, and I think that maybe Cooper and Aaron and even Malcolm could be better off mentally, physically if they had a different program. But
Right.
that's another story.
And let me preface with what I'm about to say with the fact that Alden is a proven trainer. Track record is undeniable across multiple sports. He knows a hell of a lot more than I do. So this is just my opinion. Alden's one of the goats of trainers, without a doubt. So
Absolutely.
that out of the way. I think a lot of the guys want to focus on bike skill and bike tech rather than beating their body into the absolute ground and focusing on the bike. Do you need both? 100%. Do you need to be in peak physical condition to perform at this sport? Absolutely. I just don't see the guys like Jet and Dean and all, like, I don't see these young guys going out there doing 300 miles on a road bike. You know what I mean? Like, these kids are just naturally gifted and talented. The bike takes them that much further. So maybe they can have average or above average fitness, but not be triathlon athlete level fit and still be super competitive and win races. That's just my opinion.
Look at Ty Masterpool. I mean, they just say he rides a lot during the week. And I feel like if he did a crazy training program, we probably would have heard about it by now. I don't think he does. I think the guy does motos when it's really hot. I think he puts in some gym work, and I think he's beating Plessinger. He's beating these guys this year. So I think it's again, riding a dirt bike is not, it's very physical, obviously, but being a bodybuilder and, like I said, a triathlon athlete, it's not what you need. It's a different sport. It's way different.
At least in my opinion. And I know they probably have a bunch of data to back up why it might, my opinion might be wrong, and that's fine. But
people might think we're idiots, but it's just
yeah,
the way we see it. You know, we've ridden dirt bikes our whole lives, and Alden, I don't know how much dirt bike experience he has. Again, he's obviously proven it's a lot smarter than me. I'm fat, he's fit. I get it, but it's just, I don't know. It's the way you look at it.
No, I understand, but also too, it's like, my dude, if look how advanced the bikes are, look how fast these guys are naturally. I really just think you can have above average cardiovascular fitness and be somewhat strong. Let's just say you have okay muscle mass. You could probably, like, when you're that skilled, dude, when you have the level of Hunter and Jet Lawrence talent, dude, you probably don't need to be that fit, honestly.
Bike skill.
Okay. As long as your heart can withstand the heart rate for 30+2, you're good.
Yeah. So I think they could shift their focus a little bit. I think they shouldn't be getting burnt out. I think we're seeing a lot of guys get burnt out. That's the reason people don't want to do outdoors, because they get so tired from all the supercross training. It just seems odd to me. It just seems really weird that, we have guys at 25 to 30 that want to retire. Race to your 40, make money, go to World Supercross, go do all these overseas races.
And not to get off the topic of Cooper Webb, but I really feel like that's what these guys are doing. Yeah. Okay, the purse money's there. I'm just going to focus on that. Screw this contract. I'll do 3 races and make 4 times the money. I don't know if those numbers are accurate, but you get my point.
Yeah.
I'll go race just Supercross, make way more, and not have to focus on 3 different training programs and, everything else that comes with it.
Hating life for 3 months out of the summer.
Who knows?
I get it. It's rough. It's real rough, but
money talks though, baby. You're seeing that.
Does. And look, I'm excited for Cooper. I think it's going to be a good change for him. 5 years of anything is a long time. So
you always need a change. Yeah.
Yeah. This could be great for him to get a fresh start. And at the end of the day, it's the end of his career. There's no denying that. So hopefully he gets another year or 2 of success. I wouldn't mind seeing him win another title. He's very talented. His late race charges are always so legendary. That's what I remember him for.
Yeah, so, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah. That's hopefully we see some more of that in 2024.
No doubt. But guys, that's everything we got for Cooper Webb and all this crazy news. The second something updates, we will of course be right back here to update you with more. But drop a comment down below. Let us know where you guys think Cooper Webb might land. But also, what are your thoughts on how these guys are training? Because I think that could be a unique talking point in a future video for us about the training styles that are around motocross and supercross. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And Mr. Chris Baird is going to send you off.
I got nothing for you guys other than thanks for the love and support. I'm getting my ass to bed because I'm tired. So hope everybody has a good night, and we'll catch up with you soon. Thanks for watching.
Awesome, guys. See you in the next one.